Good afternoon, guys. We're back here in the shop. It's the next day. It's Wednesday. I think it's September 13th. I'm going to be working on a corn head all evening. My wife's going back out of town, so I've got, basically all evening I'm going to work on it. Try to get as much of this done as I can. Try to get ready where we might can shell some corn this weekend. Fingers crossed. I'm excited. Yesterday I got 3 of the units rebuilt back together, so now I've got 9 more to go. I'm finally getting the hang of it, so hopefully it won't take too long. So I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse and let y'all watch me go at it here. Everyone, so I feel like I have kind of mastered the technique for this, so I'm going to bring you guys along on this one. Alright, so for the most part, I'm replacing this spring, the bolt that's inside, and then the ones of these is bad. I've been replacing. So here's a little tight, so we may go ahead and replace it. There's a nut here and a nut here. I take and hold this nut with a wrench, screw this piece off. That allows this piece to be removed. And then I take this nut off, and that allows the bolt and the spring to come out. I put my new spring and bolt in there. I've been taking a 5/8 tap and running through each bolt to make them easier. They're kind of rough. And then I just put this other piece back on, and I've been greasing in here and on this bottom side and on the sides of this sliding piece, because this thing, when it's in motion, this thing right here can move in and out to allow the chain to kind of self-tension itself. So with that nut off, this piece will slide off. Just don't lose anything. I spray a little penetrating oil on this. Make that second nut come off easier. Hold that second nut. This spring here is actually not in terrible shape. I'm going to keep the ones that aren't bad, which I think this is probably the first one I've had that's not bad. I'm going to keep them for next time if I have one break or something. Worry about it. So I can take my washers, put them on this bolt, put my spring on here, take that tag off, put my guard on here. This is so it can't bottom out with so far. Alright, I'm going to tap these nuts out.
Rock Station, Real Rock 105.7.
piece back up here. Grease on her. Just helps everything slide. Slide my bolt back to this hole, put my small nut on it. My wrench, and run this thing in some. Slide this piece back in here. Put my nut in here. There's a little slot in there that nut fits in. Slide it in. That goes through. That one is rebuilt. We're going to put a bearing on there. Idler. New ones on, some of them I hadn't. I've had 3 of them that were completely wore out, and I did on those. This is here tight. Alright, y'all guys, so I feel like I've got a pretty good feel for how to adjust these chains. So now I can get y'all down here where y'all can see me. Alright, so this chain, so the way I understand it, you want it where, I don't know what would happen, but you want it where you can move this chain and this idler come in and out. Alright, so I'm gonna show y'all how to achieve that. I'll get y'all here. Alright, I gotta get my chain on back here. Alright, so to start with, you got to take this piece here loose. Take this nut, this bolt out. Gotta get where this piece can come all the way back. Then you get this how you want it. I've been trying to split my paddles. You know, where every one of them's basically, this is basically halfway. It ain't quite perfect, but it's close. About as close as you're gonna get. So, once I get that right, alright, there's the little nut down here. It's in the middle. You got to take and turn your bolt and hold that nut, and that will allow that bolt to kick in there where the furthest nut can actually catch it. Alright. So once you get your bolt where it's sticking through there, you're going to push this thing back a little bit, and you're going to stick that nut in there, and then you're going to slowly push this bolt forward, and you're going to turn the bolt from the back side. Once that nut catches, then this thing will start to extend out. I'm gonna take and hold this bolt right here. I'm gonna get about that much. This one actually gonna need a little more. This chain must be a little bit longer. So the way I've been doing it, I've been getting this gap about probably 1 inch wide. Right now it's about 1.5 inches. So probably something about like that, a little bit close. Alright, and this right here is a jam nut. You're just going to lock that. That's going to keep everything from able to back off. With it like that. Y'all can see that has some play and it slings back. And I took, and whether or not y'all can see me or hear me, when I was actually doing this in the shop, I took and greased this piece right here that slides in and out. I greased it on the top, bottom, and both sides. That's allowing this thing to slide in and out nicely. Both of them sliding in and out nicely. I got my, I'm not sure where my adjuster piece is. Here it is. I got my deck plates adjusted, socket width in the front, and an 1/8 inch heavier in the back. It's, from the corn cob I measured, this is just a little bit bigger than the corn stalk, and they say you want the back an 1/8 inch heavier in the front. So we'll see how it is. If I need to adjust it, not that hard to adjust. So on to the next one. We have 2 more rows left. So I got 4 done. All right, so it's about 7:30. I've got every row on but the last one, and I'm waiting on it to dry, paint to dry. So I'm gonna start pumping some grease in these gearboxes. We did find a pretty major issue with that end gearbox. It's actually cracked. I'll show you that in a minute. We're gonna try to let it get by through at least enough where we can start bagging some corn, because we got people wanting corn. I do have a spare header with a spare gearbox on it, so hopefully it's good. If not, we'll be robbing it from our good 4-row. I hate to rob, but I don't want to spend $1,500, $2,000 on a gearbox either when I've got a perfectly good head up there I can take it from. So to pump gearbox, each of these gearboxes have a plug here, looks like this, on each unit. All right. The way I've been told, the way we've done it on our 4-row, is you take it back here on the back, up here underneath it, right here, on each unit, there's a grease fitting. All right, each one of those you take and you pump it full of grease. This takes John Deere corn header grease. You take and you fill it up until you can start to see grease squirting out between those gears in there. Once it gets in there, you'll be able to see it. Well, I haven't pumped any grease yet. What grease you're seeing there is what the last person had in it. Sometimes they take a lot, sometimes they don't take much. It depends on how much they use and how much, you know, how long it's been since it's been greased. So this one here, as you can see, this is floppy. I got to looking earlier. As you can tell, that gearbox is cracked and busted. So I'm gonna pump it full of grease and hopefully it'll last at least long enough for us to get a little done, because I want to get a little bit shelved. That way we can have a little bit to bag before I go in there jumping into trying to fix that, because that could take me a week or 2. Hopefully it won't, but with my work schedule it could. And we still, she's pumping, but we just ran through her first tube. That's what it looked like whenever you get grease coming through. 2 down, 4 to go. Starting to look like a corn header again. Good afternoon, guys. Thursday, September 14th. Back on the header today. Last night, I pretty much got everything back together. You can see all the snoots are on. I'm having a little issues with this side jumping. I'm not exactly sure what is wrong. So I gotta do a little investigating to see if I can figure out what is going on. I guess I'm gonna take the chain back off, and it may be I need to replace this sprocket. So we're gonna dig into it and see what we can find. But that's the game plan for now. Thing I can think of, guys, is where these teeth are starting to get a little curl back on. Maybe it's making it jump. Let's see if I can get this off. So I got her off. I got it off. I had to use my 2-jaw puller, put this in the center of that right shaft, and then I put each lip of that up under here. I'm hoping that's what the case is. I don't really know, but you can definitely see there's a hook there. So hopefully that's grabbing that chain wrong and causing it to twirl. I got some brand new ones in here. They're definitely, if that's what they're supposed to look like, these are definitely wore. Size comparison. Big difference. Man, I've had to replace all them suckers. I didn't realize they wore that bad. Put a little anti-seize on that shaft. Pretty gross. Little anti-seize on it. So maybe next time it'll be a little easier to get on though. I reckon. Alright, that's on there. Pretty sure my brother. Wrong socket. Everything off here and let's fire it up and see if that fixed our issue. Good, we'll put everything back together.